Hi, I'm Allison.
Hi, I'm Justin.
And you're listening to the Otterly Owlsome podcast. Who knows what we'll talk about? David used my desk and now my stuff isn't working.
When I talked to him, he was in his other place.
Yeah.
The garage office.
Yeah, we finally got the charger installed for my car.
He said you guys blew the circuit with the first time.
Yeah, so on the external garage can only hold up to like 40 amps or something. And it takes more, I guess. I don't know a lot about electricity. So they came and moved it just inside our normal garage. And
shame on the installer, whoever installed it. Like, they should have known. Like, that's their job, right? Is it a family member? It's like what?
No.
Okay, I don't know, talk bad about a family member who was helping
But
you.
he didn't charge us to move it because he said I didn't do my due diligence, and so he came and moved it.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, when I talked to David, he's like, he came and just took it out, and then like, I'm gonna be back later. So David's like, I have no electricity out there now. He took whatever part and just ripped it out.
Oh yeah, it was the breaker.
Yeah. What I found interesting when they did my office, they ran all the wires and they talked about the amperage and stuff. I didn't know because they knew there was going to be AC and they knew there was going to be a computer and all that. And then like I'm watching them do all of that and we're waiting for like having to shut off the power in the house and they're like, we're all done. And we're like, but you didn't do anything with the power in the house. They're like, nope, we're good. I'm like, but how did you connect like voltage wires to the house and not have to shut off I don't know how they did it, but so in that spirit, like a couple weekends ago, one of in the closet light went out. And I've replaced like 100 lights. It's like not a big deal. So I was like, I'm going to try not turning off the power. So I didn't turn off the power and it worked fine. It worked great because I didn't let anything touch anything. So
I still wouldn't roll the dice.
I did. I rolled the dice.
See, this is going to sound stupid, but it makes sense we have a bunch of like loose outlets. Like if I plug something in, the plug just like falls out.
Yes, I don't try my.
And so we have to go and I was like, I think we can replace these.
You could replace them, but I would turn off the power for those because you gotta touch them with your fingers.
But, like there's so many. I don't know what happened.
Someone probably bought cheap ones.
Maybe, but. I have 2 outlets in my living room I can't use unless I have something pushed up against it to keep it the outlet.
The ones they gave me are weird. Like, when you go to plug it in, there's something in the way. And then when you push, it disappears and then it plugs in. I've never seen that before.
Child-proof, so you don't have to buy the little thingies.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess they could still stick something in there, though, right?
Not because you generally have to, like, have some effort to move.
Yeah, you have to push hard.
Yeah, and toddlers aren't, mine wasn't that strong. Mine can barely get out of bed by himself, so he's not sticking something in there.
God forbid if he's wet trying to get out of bed, you gotta get a crane.
Oh no, then he just screams.
Oh my god. That's so funny, the wet thing.
And it's been since he was a baby. Like, just doesn't like. I mean, like if he's swimming, he's fine. But if he has on normal clothes,
yeah, I think like when he gets old enough and starts sweating, that's gonna be interesting.
Well, no, like if he's playing and sweating, once again, he's fine. It's if
I don't remember sweating when I was a kid. So kids sweat. I just thought I don't remember it. So
oh yeah, and kids smell like.
I don't remember that at all. Yeah.
There's an episode of Gilmore Girls where Luke is talking about kids and how they're like just always sticky, even if they haven't had like PB&J, like they're just always sticky.
I think I remember that one, yeah. And that's how I pictured their little fingers.
Yeah, he's usually not sticky, but he plays hard because he's a boy and he is all boy, and it's asleep or 90 miles an hour, and that's about it.
Yeah, well, we talked about that with the karate, kind of taking the energy out of him, yeah. Or teaching him to meditate. I love that. That was just awesome.
Yeah.
Woosah.
Yes. I need to woosah some days.
Yeah, you were very active on TikTok while you were under the weather.
I had nothing else to do. Literally nothing.
I was wondering, because I don't know about for you, but for me, TikTok, if I stay on there too long, I start to see stuff I've already seen before.
I don't think I've been on that long yet. So this week I've decided, you're going to laugh because David was laughing at me. I've decided I'm going to make sourdough bread because I got on sourdough bread TikTok.
That was a COVID thing back in, during COVID.
I know. And so I somehow got down the sourdough bread haul. And I have a sourdough starter sitting in my kitchen that I made today.
I did love sourdough, but I have no desire to make it.
Well, I like baking, so I was like, this will be fun. And we don't eat a ton of bread. And so if the only time we eat bread, it's like homemade sourdough.
Can't go wrong, yeah.
Well,
I love the wide sourdough. It's kind of like a squished ball,
mm-hmm.
and you cut it and then slice this nice and wide, and then lather up some butter on one side. Get 2 slices and cheese in the middle, and grilled cheese that way. Mm-hmm. My God, it's so good.
Yeah. So now my whole TikToking was really just I would get down rabbit. So then I got caught up on Bama Rush TikTok.
Bama Rushed?
Alabama Sorority Rush was all over TikTok. And I was in a sorority.
Thanks for not sending me those.
I sent up my best friend that I was in sorority with. We were sending them back and forth because we were like, we would have not gotten into a single house. It's like, these girls are like, they do their outfit of the day. And they're like, my top is from wherever. And so someone would add up how much their just one day outfit would cost. And they were like, no judgment. I just need people to see that this isn't attainable for everybody. I mean, it was thousands of dollars.
That's crazy.
I don't know if you've ever, there's some kind of shoe called Golden Goose. I think they're hideous. But all these girls are wearing them. And I'm just sitting there I wore, I think, something from maybe Target when I went through Rush. Maybe Maurice's because I liked Maurice's because I was tall and they were the only jeans that fit.
Can you explain to me what Rush means?
Yeah, so when you go to college, if you decide you want to be in a sorority or a fraternity, you have to go through Rush, but they actually call it, what do they call it now? Recruitment, because Rush could have a negative connotation to it. And you go, the first day, you go to all the houses. So if there's 10 houses on campus, you go to all 10 sororities and meet the people and get to know them. And then that night, you write down the houses you want to go back to. They write down who they want to invite back. And if there's a match, you go back. So there has to be a match on both sides. And I don't know if you ever watched House Bunny with Anna Faris, but there's a scene where they have a projector and they put the people's picture up and learn about them. I knew everything about people before they walked in the door. We had to sit and learn about them, and we had songs about them.
Oh my God.
And some of them were...
This is bordering on creepy, just so you know.
Oh yeah. And so, but the reason we did it is because every single house you would go to, what's your name? Where are you from? What's your major? We didn't want to ask those things. We already knew them. You had to provide a resume. You had to provide details about yourself as part of the process. And so we had rush groups, and each rush group had a pile of people to learn and then share with everybody with a song about them. And I still remember some of them, but since names are in it, I can't really sing them. But one was to the dun 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 dun. I still remember that one.
Oh
and she joined our house.
This whole world I know nothing about.
Yeah, and then I can't remember how I was talking about this. So you're in a rush group of 5 people. I went to a smaller school, so it's probably different at a bigger school. But as you are talking to someone, so let's say I pick you up at the door, someone's going to magically come be like, oh my God, Allison, who's this? And you introduce them and it all seems very real. Like someone just really wanted to talk to you. That was my partner. If I'm 1 and she's 2, she comes to 1, 1 goes to 5, 5 goes to 4. And you just you talk to a group of the same people. But it seems as though people are just trying to find you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have so many questions I don't even know that I have. So
boys don't do any of that, by the way.
Yeah, this is the first time hearing about it at all.
So my brother was in a fraternity at the same school I went to. And all they had to do was get a stamp from every house, and then they picked which one they wanted.
Interesting.
Just over this course of a week, they had to get a stamp on some like card saying they went and saw it. And then they would just say, I'm going to pledge this house.
So my only exposure, okay, this is going back in the cobwebs. It was calculus class, and there was a young man who was in a sorority. This is like UNC Asheville, though. It's not like a big college.
He was in a fraternity?
For a fraternity, yeah, sorry. I did say sorority, didn't I? And he came in one day, and they had branded him on his shoulder, or I think his chest or his shoulder. He was showing everybody. And I'm just sitting there like, and I was an adult student. I mean, we were all adults, but I was a working adult student. And I was just like, why would you let someone do that to you?
Yeah, we didn't do any of that. And like sorority, they cracked down on hazing like a ton.
He was proud of it.
Oh, I know. Some of them are. Like, we didn't do any of that. Like, our form of hazing was like my big sis in sorority gave me presents all the time. Like,
oh, that sounds awful.
I know, it was horrible. And like Big Little Week is fun because they would leave like mystery signs for you and like all sorts of stuff.
Interesting.
So anyway, my Bama Rush TikTok, me and my best friend who I met through sorority and wouldn't have otherwise because not even a similar major, nothing. We were sending them back and forth like, thank God we are not in sorority anymore. Like,
well, that's, I mean, gosh, that sounds like it could be a complete rabbit hole.
oh yeah. Yeah.
And then like last week, and that you picked the perfect time to get sick because it was like everybody's going back to school.
I know. It was great. I know where everyone's at and if I think they'll be successful.
If only you could like parlay that into like college football predictions and like play some bets, you know?
Yeah.
So then you could afford the billionaire booth.
This weekend though.
What?
I know you care, but college football starts this weekend.
It started last weekend. Notre Dame and the Navy played, I think.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Did you see that? Did you see what I did there? I knew.
Yeah,
I knew about the football.
Like the teams I care about start this weekend.
That's all I knew. I some article that came across my feed. It said Notre Dame and Navy played.
I did see funny fantasy football team names generated by AI that were hilarious.
Any come to mind?
There was one about the Adams family because there's someone named like D. Adams. I was like, that's funny. I like puns, so. You know.
Got you. You like dad jokes then?
Yes. Well, some of them. I don't like the I'm cold, hi cold, I'm dad. I don't like those. But
there was I think this was TikTok. There would be two dads sitting across from each other, and they had to tell dad jokes without laughing.
Yes,
remember that?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in forever, but I used to get such a kick out of that.
Yeah. I was going to say, I saw one between Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell the other day.
That should be good. I'm laughing not even knowing what it said. Yeah.
I feel like actors have an advantage. Like they're so used to having to keep a straight face.
Yeah. Someone was posting on TikTok Kevin Hart's latest comedy special. And to your point of actors, like once they know how to do it, like they're just so good at it.
Yeah, we watched so Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean the
Hayes.
guy that played Jack
Sean
from
Hayes,
Will and Grace. Did you see their little touring podcast?
I'm getting pieces of it on TikTok, so I haven't seen.
The one with Kevin Hart was really funny. That's the only one we've watched.
Okay.
And it was funny.
I watched something where Jason was trying to order food from the food service, like room service or whatever, and and then Will Arnett's like, "What do you mean just one cookie?" And so Jason's like, "Okay, 4 cookies."
That's funny.
But yeah, I love. So I'm watching Jason Bateman now. We're watching Arrested Development during lunch and dinner. So yeah,
I like Jason Bateman. He's just very likable.
He is very likable. Yeah, I liked him in the other one with Ozarks.
We started Ozark, but we haven't finished it.
Yeah, I liked him in that.
Yeah,
there's something else.
We like Jason Sudeikis too. We like him a lot.
Yes,
Not just because of Ted Lasso, but
I haven't seen Lasso yet.
what?
Nope. It's on my list.
That's one that I think you should skip some.
I'm working on right now The White Lotus.
Is it good?
I liked the first season. I'm almost done the second season.
Okay. I like Aubrey Plaza and I like Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge is amazing. She's like, I just love her. Remember Two Broke Girls, Jennifer Coolidge? Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
She's so funny.
I love Two Broke Girls, and it's on Roku streaming because we have a Roku TV outside. I cannot tell you. I'm already on season 4 because I started where I got so excited.
Oh, we watched it like as it came out, yeah.
So did we, or so did I, should I say. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, and got really excited.
I liked her, and I liked the guy in the kitchen who's I've seen on
the leg.
Yes. Just completely inappropriate. He's kind of like me sometimes. Like, we just comes out and says something, and you're just like, oh, shoot, did I say that?
Yeah. It's okay. I said, what did I say? I was on with someone. I was on with a company from Canada. One of the guys that reports to me, they were talking about like how we would approach something. I said, well, we try to avoid like too many chiefs, not enough Indians. So like, I don't want 80 people in this workshop. You know, we need the people that blah, blah, blah. He hits me all the time. He's like, you may not say Indians to Canadian. I was like, really? And he was like, yeah.
The First Peoples or something?
Well, I don't know, but I never heard it in reference to Canada. In the U.S. all the time. And I grew up in Oklahoma and am Cherokee Indian. So Native American, not Indian, whatever. You know, that's how I grew up.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even think, I was like, okay, too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah. Can I just say something about that? Like, I feel like if you were being derogatory and hateful or mean or something, that's inappropriate. But if you're just trying to, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to get offended over the word Indian. If they do, hey, I have a big Indian following on my YouTube channel, not from America, but from the country.
Oh, nice.
And they call themselves Indians, so I don't know. Maybe that's the confusion.
Maybe. I don't know, but I was just like, you don't realize like the geographical stuff if you're not around it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Do you want to hear my funny Canadian moment? I don't think we've shared it here. So when I first started working here, I wasn't aware of Canada at all. Like, I knew it was up there, but I had no daily exposure to it like I did coming to this job. And Matt, like, I won't say his last name, Matt had me on a call where I was scoping, and he started off the call like a salesperson who does, making small talk. And I'm really, really new, really, really green. And he says something of like, so Justin, how about those hurricanes down there? And I'd introduced myself as being from North Carolina. I was like, well, we don't really get a lot of hurricanes in North Carolina, and I'm up in the mountains, and it usually breaks up before it gets here. And then like, there's complete silence from the Canadians and from Matt. He's like, I'm talking about the hockey team. I'm like, we have a hockey team? And it's like, the whole call was just like not good after that. But I was like, okay, now
I would have been the same way.
I've got a little hockey now.
There's a hockey team in North Carolina?
Greensboro. Apparently they've won like the national or the world, I don't know what they call it, cup? I don't know.
Stanley Cup?
Stanley Cup? Yeah.
I think that's the hockey one. That's hilarious.
Apparently they've won, and like Matt knows about them so well. I'm just like, I didn't know we had a hockey team.
I didn't know there was one in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew there were some in the U.S., but I didn't know.
The hurricanes, apparently. Yeah, not the actual hurricanes. So
I would have probably done the same thing. I would have been like, no, I'm too far inland, really. I just get the tropical depression.
That's what I was like. Like, maybe he doesn't understand, like, and then probably the time of year, hurricanes are like front of mind for us. We're watching it, and so it's like, yeah.
Well, he has now watched Outer Banks on Netflix, which he did not know was a real place.
I have not watched that. You know, it's funny. I watch a lot of teen dramas, but I haven't watched that one for some reason.
It's got everything: love, pirates, murder.
Pirates? Ooh.
Pirates, treasure.
Oh, you know, One Piece comes out this week. Speaking of pirates, One Piece. Oh, okay, yeah. It's a manga cartoon from Japan. Yeah, they turned into a live action series. has pirates. It's like this guy who wants to be a pirate, so he goes out and
Nice.
it looks awesome.
It's okay. I have the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial queued up on Netflix, even though I was like watching it live,
Really?
like when it was on. Oh, it's insane. It's like a train wreck. You can't stop watching.
I'll never start, I guess. Yeah.
Well, and then what's even worse is like COVID was giving me like crazy dreams. And David was dating Amber Heard in my dream.
Is she crazy?
And we were just friends and she was crazy. She was threatened by our friendship.
In the dream, just to clarify everybody.
In the dream. Yeah, it's not in real life.
Gosh, can you imagine
And
the
David
comments?
was like, what? It's like, I don't know. COVID dreams. So,
Yeah, my dreams are so crazy I can't share them. So
yeah. That's why I only shared that much of it.
yeah.
But clearly I had been watching the stuff on Netflix.
Yeah.
So.
Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, do I need to see a therapist?
We could probably all
Should I talk this
stand.
through with somebody? Like, because I don't know what this means.
When I was younger, I had this one really like weird dream that I still remember to this day, and so does my brother. Because it was like the weirdest dream of like, so my grandparents' house we spent a lot of time at growing up. Because like my parents worked and my grandparents would like take us to school, pick us up, whatever. And so in their backyard, in my dream, there was this humongous tree, which there was no tree in their backyard, at least when I was alive. And there was a vampire sitting on like this one branch in this tree, just like watching us, because my grandpa had this shed we used to play in that had like, he worked on telephones. So he had all these like old school telephones. Like he had the Mickey Mouse one and all that. And he was just like watching us from this tree. And why I still remember it to this day, I don't know.
Do you know what that makes me think of?
What?
Leprechaun, the movie.
I don't think he was ever in a tree.
I don't know, that scene you're describing just reminds me of that. I've been so long since I've seen him. I was scared to death of him. So
yeah, but no, just don't know why, but it.
Haley just barked in her sleep.
We had to go get new dog beds this morning too when we went to Sam's. Something made the dog sick.
Well, okay, so she's in her dog bed now because she had these nice carpets or rugs that we bought, and she got sick, and so I had to throw one of them out, and I got the other one kind of rolled up. So I'm not the only one that throws them out. Okay, yeah. No. I was like, I'm not cleaning this. So.
Well, not only that, like we had put them outside to like hose off, and there was like a microburst that came through.
Yes.
And it ended up like sopping wet across the yard, so we just were like,
oh, a microburst? You mean not from her?
No,
it's not from her.
The heavens.
The heavens, yeah.
And so, yeah, they ended up like across the yard and in dirt, and
she kept trying to pass gas, and there were microbursts, and that was like I had them to clean and clean and clean, and it's like, will you stop?
Oh no, these were like 50-mile-an-hour winds out of nowhere.
Yikes, that's dangerous.
Yeah. Like we were sitting there and we were like, what's happening?
It's the end of the world.
Well, his mom lives across town, so we called her. She's like, no, it's sunny.
That's cool. So you see, mom's that close, but not close. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah. Oh.
Very nice.
Why do you have an X on your finger?
Oh,
Is it to remember something?
No. I bought a body pin, and it came yesterday. Like, okay, so this is the weird thing about Walmart. So
I love Walmart Plus.
Yeah, it's Walmart Plus. So I bought that, and I bought a mop for the cleaning the cars, and I'm thinking that'll just come on Tuesday when it's scheduled. Well, they bring the damn pen from the store all by itself on Sunday, and it's like, well, that was a waste. Like, I didn't even mean to. But anyways, so they brought it, and I was like, well, let me test this thing. And I was like, how do I test it? So I just made a little X on my finger. Yeah, and I want to see how long it lasts. It's like, it's not like a Sharpie. It's supposed to be safe.
Like a henna pen?
It's a henna pen, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They got black.
My stepdaughter has those. She loves to sit and just.
Well, actually, it's kind of rubbing off now. But yeah, it's black and brown pens, and I don't know. I was trying to think of an alternative, but you can't see it right here. But I got my dragon tattoo. You can see a little bit of it.
Nice.
And I was thinking, well, I wonder if I could like touch it up. but not, I don't think I can. I'm not very artistic, so.
We're picking our tattoos.
You're gonna do it for real?
For real. Well, I have 4. David has 4. So
I have 0, and I will never get one now that I have. Now that I know about these tattoos, I'll never get a real one.
See, I have my dove. I have D for Dexter. And I have one on the back of my neck and one on my foot.
Yeah. I just can't see it doing it now when I can play around with all these different designs and.
I don't know. Like I have friends that got some. I don't really regret any of mine. And they're all easily concealed, which was very important to me. I wanted them to easily be. But now it's not as big of, like, when I was graduating college, it was, don't get a tattoo.
Oh God, in the 90s and the 2000s? Yeah, it was for, like, taboo, yeah.
Yeah, no one will hire you if you have a tattoo.
Now, like, the guy at the grocery store, his head's tattooed, and you're just like, whoa.
Yep. So, but yeah, I think we may have picked them, but we're not sure.
Well, it couldn't be more romantic than going and getting stabbed to death multiple times by a needle together, you know?
Yeah. I've never even paid, like, my dove was free because a friend of mine was, like, always covered in tattoos. He was like, I'll just take you to my guy. And I got there and he's like, I'm not charging you for this. It's going to take 5 minutes.
That took
and
5
I was
minutes?
like, yeah, it took 5 minutes. And I was just like, well, I'm still going to, like, tip you. He was like, no, it's fine. I'm like, no, I'm still going to tip you. So I tipped him, but he didn't charge me because literally it took 5 minutes.
I thought it was customary to tip your tattoo artist.
It is. He was just, because my friend is literally
covered.
And he was like, he spent so much money here, it's fine. Your 5-minute dove is...
Have you ever thought, like, what your friend is going to look like when he's, like, 80?
Not really, because... I haven't talked to him probably in 12 years at this point. Was that when I got this? Yeah.
Yeah. I've just always wondered, like, I've seen what an old person with a tattoo looks like. Yeah. I've never seen an old person that completely tattooed looks like. And we have a couple people we know that are, like, completely covered.
Yeah. I would never get it on my face.
I picture, like, one of those zombies coming out of the ground in the scary movies. That's what they're going to look like. Just scary.
That's fair. Anyway. Oh, we did watch Hocus Pocus last night.
Hocus Pocus? Okay. Did you watch the new one?
I watched it last year.
Okay. The new one I liked.
Except Sarah Jessica Parker's makeup was a little... I don't like it.
See, I wouldn't have paid attention.
It was too much. But, well, no, she's beautiful, and the makeup just wasn't flattering. I don't know. It was weird. It was distracting.
Okay.
I know.
I wasn't distracted. I thought it was funny.
But I liked it. I think they're doing one more.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I know. I think they're doing one.
That was a Disney one, right? On Disney Plus? Yeah.
The original is on there, too. David's never seen Casper, so that is on our list this year.
Oh my gosh. That was like classic childhood movie, yeah. I think I took a girl to see Casper, actually. I think I was like 10, maybe.
Yeah. How cute.
I don't know how old it was.
Alright, I gotta go do a problem workshop.
Yeah, I gotta run too. It's been fun. I'm glad you're back.
Me too.
Alright, talk soon.
Okay.